So, hello everyone, and apparently AT&T is coming, or Darth Vader, I don't know. But before we get to the hellos, massive shout out.
Yeah, we got to do the shout outs.
Massive shout out to Blind Tech Adventures dropping a $200 super chat saying, Happy Ramadan. Thank you
That's
for
a record.
all you do.
This is a record.
Thank you.
Happy so Ramadan. Much for your generosity, Blind Tech.
Happy Ramadan to you and your family. And, thanks for supporting us. And you go way above and beyond. Absolutely tremendous super chat donation. And it's an incredible gesture. Thank you so much.
So, Sneed, we also get another super chat.
Another one?
Generous. Yeah.
Another one.
Jason D sends a super sticker for $20. Thank you so much, Jason D. Thanks, the super Jason. Sticker is a pair jumping up and down saying, you are amazing.
Hold on, before we continue, I need to give a special shout out to Blind yet again, because this is actually the second night where he is dropping just bombs. I was on Carlos's stream last night. Like, I gave him a call when he was zipping around. Man dropped another 200 dono on Carlos's stream and then some. So this man is on a steamroll, and we really appreciate your generosity in the SMT community.
Yeah, you're the best, Nimmer. And I know you're always thinking about us, and you're always supporting us. And, we appreciate all that you do. Everything like, being a part of the live chat and commenting and being here for all the streams, and then all the extra stuff with the support. And Jason, thanks for your dono as well. Everybody out there, whoever gave the videos a like, whoever shared them to their social media, whoever told friends and family about our live streams and our podcasts and our channels, we appreciate you so very much. Thanks for supporting us. Major. All right,
so, Steve, so what do you...
Fresh off of the Best Phone Plans podcast, we just did that about an hour ago. I literally broke fast, ate some food, rehydrating a little bit, and here we are, man, doing the second edition of the podcast for the evening.
So, Sneed, during Ramadan, do you drink during the day?
No, nothing. Can't ingest anything.
Man,
did you break the fast?
Dry fast.
Did you break the fast with a fig?
It's a date, but yeah.
Or excuse me, a date. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly, a date. Yep.
So there. I'm familiar with another religion, Baha'i, where they fast for the period of Nowruz, which is during the vernal equinox time.
Is that Iranian?
Persian.
Yeah.
They're allowed to drink during that, just not eat.
Yeah, okay, Steve, I don't know how you can do a whole day without even drinking any liquid. I would literally be on the ground dying.
Yeah,
you know what? It's when your commitment and your dedication to the cause is sincere, I don't think there's anything that could stop a convicted person. Somebody with conviction who knows what they want to do, and that's what it boils down to. Because I know what it's for. I know the reasons for it. It's just second nature for me at this point. I've been fasting since probably 8 years old.
I mean, it's definitely like good for you, like both physically and mentally.
Sure.
I just know me personally, I get like mental brain fog if like I'm dehydrated. Like I can feel the brain fog seep in and then the migraines come.
It's different for different people. Most definitely. I had friends that, they really struggled with sugar, blood sugar problems, and they'd have to be very careful about that, because if you've got to watch your blood glucose levels, fasting may be the worst thing for you. You could make it for a very dangerous situation if your sugar drops.
I'm gonna speak as a diabetic. Even if the blood sugar is stable through the entire time, if you do not ingest a proper amount of liquid during the day, all that you do for stability can just go out the freaking window.
Yeah. And my friend had used to suffer from an anemia, and it was a real problem some days when he was fasting. This is back in our college days. So yeah, it's generally speaking, it's reserved for those that are healthy and well enough to do it. Those with medical concerns or issues, you got to be careful with it. You kind of you could do if you can handle it. I, you know, praise to God, like I don't have any health issues that I know of, so I fast, no questions asked.
Well, Sneed, I'm glad that we got to share this with each other and the community. But that being said, what do you have laid out for us today with this special live stream, this part 2, as you called it?
Okay, so special
Oh
because
my God.
special because Moose called for it. Number one, he said we got to do a live stream. We got to talk about this, and I think he was right in making this call, and we kind of overlooked it a little bit. We got to do our predictions for Q1, 2022. It's done, right? Like March 31st came and went. So the numbers that we get from the providers, the mobile network operators, cable ISPs, they're all going to be dropping here in the next few weeks. I think AT&T is going first. We're going to get them, I think, April 21st or 22nd.
21st.
And then 21st. And then Verizon's like a day or two right after them.
Mm-hmm.
And then T-Mobile's usually the later one. They're probably going to be the first or second week of May. So then we'll kind of do those two first. And then we'll discuss the T-Mobile thing. And then I want to throw Dish in there too. Only because I know it's coming, but I don't think the outcome is going to be much different because technically their business has not really launched. Their beta, nothing's really happening right now. So, but we'll do our predictions anyways. We'll talk about what's it called? The Boost business. We'll talk about their place in wireless once they launch national, and we'll see how that goes. That's right, Juan. Alhamdulillah. That's right. Some people are pretty hip, man. They know about what's going on here. That's good. I'm very happy, pleasantly surprised by that. Not everybody always knows exactly what we're doing here. So they're like, "Why are you fasting, Sneed?" I'm like, "Man, I gotta explain it every year."
Hey, I'm happy to learn, man.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So
which carrier do you want to? Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna say Sunday. I'm like, so Sneed, you doing the Sunday show? He's like, no, not feeling too hot. And then I'm like, man, I'm not paying attention to the calendar. It's Ramadan.
Yeah.
Happy Ramadan.
Exactly. Pete thought about it for a second because Pete, I never miss shows. I don't cancel stuff. I always try to follow through.
But which carrier do you want to start off with first? Do you? I
say we go in the order of the carriers that are doing their earnings reports. So let's start with AT&T.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, man. All right, so a little bit of a prediction just to kind of highlight where they've been this quarter. All right, so big time spectrum spending. They went in big. They got 40 megahertz national of the DoD stuff, the 3.45 gigahertz. They've got the deal with Dish for the network access agreement. They are mostly focusing on fiber. That seems to be paying dividends. It's converting. They've got a very good penetration rate. Where they build it seems to be taken pretty nicely, especially in places where they go into markets that have like just one other provider. So it's like Cox is there or something, and then AT&T comes in and takes everybody. So I'm
gonna say with that, Sneed, I'm surprised that they're not really going hardcore into markets where they can get federal broadband subsidies for building.
Yeah, I thought they would go into that a little bit more and just gung-ho, just put the fiber wherever you can and collect.
I mean, if the government's literally paying about 50% of the cost to deploy,
that's crazy.
Probably too many stipulations.
The stipulations are area income under a certain threshold and no options for above 100 megs down.
I mean, you would think that a lot more places would qualify, especially places outside of big cities.
Or even, you did a video recently, Kansas City.
Oh my goodness, man, Kansas.
So I haven't heard about them deploying in Kansas City, but that seems to be like fermenting fruit on the ground for fiber deployment.
Exactly,
yeah,
man.
I'll tell you the short answer, and you'll hate me when I say it, but this is the truthful reason why. It's because even with the 50% subsidy, AT&T probably crunched the numbers and said, nope, not worth our return on investment.
They would want something more.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's probably good, they want great. They want more. So, anyways, that's kind of an update on what they're doing. They've got stuff going on in wireless. We can't forget they're spinning off Warner Media. That's going to be Warner Discovery. Is that the name of the new company? Yeah. Now listen, for those of you
with a 70% stake.
Yeah, for those of you out there that are holders of the stock for AT&T, something funny is going to be happening here in the next week or so. Your ownership stake in AT&T and those stocks in those shares, you're going to have options. You're going to be able to take both shares. You'll have, I think it's 4-1 or 5-1. So for every 4 AT&T shares you have, you're getting one Warner Discover, whatever that new company is.
Right.
Okay, so, and then the other piece to that is, so you can just take both shares like that, or like you could literally sell everything. You could sell AT&T, you could sell the new company spinoff. You can hold both. You could do a lot of different things.
Man, I'm getting some Discovery shares.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you can hold and wait and see how it does, because the HBO Max piece is wrapped up in this. And then AT&T still owns 71% of this new company. So, like, there's value in all of this. And we got slow, methodical claps. This one from
This is what I say, guys, to the spinoff that's happening very soon. Okay, hold on.
I don't get this.
Moose got a song for everything. Give up the moolah, bro.
I'm telling you, dude, I can't wait for this. I can't wait.
Now, the reason I can't wait for it is because I want to see the connectivity-focused AT&T. You know, like tried and true, full dedication to wireless and fiber. Pete, you want to do the super chat from Anwar?
Yeah, shout-outs to Anwar, Cardana. Cardana. Let's go with that one. $2 super sticker. Just a Moose slow clap. Do it up, Moose.
And we got Tyrone on the show. Welcome to the show, bud.
Hey, what's going on?
Tyrone.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been too long, my man.
Yeah, I had some time, so I was like, let me go ahead and join.
Good stuff, Tyrone. Glad to have you. We're talking about AT&T first. I'll give you some time to kind of think about it and let it marinate. Dennis, give me your take. Give me your predictions. What do you think they're going to do in wireless? What do you think they're going to do in fiber in terms of their earnings, the metrics, the things that the shareholders want to know, all that stuff we discussed? Where do you think things fall into place for them Q1 2022?
So Q1 2022, I think that AT&T ends up having 350,000 minimum net adds to their postpaid wireless side.
That's
too small.
Jesus, that's so conservative, but that's okay. That's
okay.
Okay.
What was the estimation?
I said minimum 350,000 net adds postpaid.
Okay. So you got them having a slower quarter than last quarter.
Hey, that's pretty good for an LTE network.
I would say, look, the reason why I think it would be slightly slower than last quarter is because last quarter was iPhone quarter, right? This quarter was Samsung, and I'm not 100,000% sure, but if memory serves me, wasn't Samsung having some supply constraints with getting out phones? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that the whole supply issue would have slightly impacted AT&T's growth, and I just don't think Samsung moves people like an iPhone does here in the U.S. So that's why I say 350,000 net ads for AT&T. As far as like overall ARPU goes, I see AT&T actually seeing a slight increase in ARPU per account, maybe like $1.50, $2, just in raw increase, and that just comes from them pushing the elite plan and the bundling that they've been doing with their fiber products and everything else like that.
Nice. Okay.
And then as far as fiber goes, as far as churn rate goes, I see them having a like industry leading low of like 0.9 churn.
Industry leading at 0.9. Okay, gotcha.
Is that not industry leading? Am I wrong?
Well, that would mean that like Verizon would be a little higher and T-Mobile would be a little higher. Because when you say industry leading, I mean that means it would be a bad quarter for churn. Because typically we see churns in like the low 8s for the leader or the high 7s. So that would mean like if you got AT&T at 0.9, then you got Verizon somewhere like 0.93, 0.95. You got T-Mobile.
Maybe I'm using the number. Maybe I'm using the number wrong. But what I'm trying to say is I don't see AT&T losing too many customers.
Got you. Okay.
Like they might lose like 250,000, but like I said, their net overall might be like 350.
Gotcha. All right, Pete, jump in, my friend.
First off, it's an AT&T. It's a LTE network, so they're going to be selling on their name alone. And I still have a really strong feeling that net adds are whose line points. They just show up like Wells Fargo's checking and credit card accounts. So I'm going to say somewhere between 450 and 550 net adds, with the average return on investment per customer up 3% year over year. And they'll be boasting about getting people like Sneed Fiber.
Nice, Pete.
So, right. By the way, RAM 250. I was connected to AT&T's illustrious LTE network earlier today. I got this rockin' 10 megahertz of band 12 only. T-Mobile was N71, about 10 megahertz, rocking 80 up or 80 down and 10 up. AT&T was rocking 15 down and less than 1 up. Amazing coverage right there. I'm going to say good coverage, not good service in that spot.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely coverage. All right, we lost Moose. I was going to ask him for his take. Tyrone, you want to jump in, sir?
Yeah, I'll jump in. So Q1s are usually the wild card for all carriers, right? By history, Verizon's usually their worst quarter, and everyone else kind of comes in lower too. But I think AT&T, and there's already some estimates floating out there because we're getting closer to the earnings announcements. I think between 400 to 600,000 ads for AT&T for the quarter. We already had supply constraints during the iPhone launch, and now we had supply constraints as well for the Samsung launch. But that's eventually going to settle over the next few months. I'm sure it's going to be less, or should be less of an issue, I should say. But that's why I think AT&T is going to be, and a lot of that is going to have to do with fiber ads, right? The more fiber they grow leads to wireless conversions, and I think that's giving AT&T a big boost.
Good point,
across the board.
Good mention. You got anything for churn rate or prepaid or anything else you want to add?
No, I think churn is going to be where it usually is. I don't think it spikes too much. I think it'll be around that 0.7, 0.8. Prepaid is interesting now. Prepaid is getting more competitive because of the MVNOs that are stepping in. So Cricket, I think Cricket is in a sweet spot. I think they advertised, maybe they even sponsored WrestleMania this weekend. I saw a lot of Cricket there. So I think they do, 150,000, 200,000 ads on prepaid. I think conservatively with Cricket, Cricket has good plans if we really think about it.
They really do. Yeah.
Especially that high-end plan with, I think it's a Sam's Club membership, HBO Max. I mean, they might have more value than some of these wireless carriers. Shit.
I have a question
compared to the postpaid side.
I have a question for you, Tyrone, and anybody here in the stream. Do you think the prepaid market for AT&T sees significant growth?
It's a tough market because it's very competitive and disruptive. And then we got Dish coming in. I know Dish is postpaid, but if they come in, they have to also be disruptive on price. So that's going to pull away from that market too. So I think that market is going to kind of be a back and forth. And then we still have Peter launching eventually too. He's gonna come in there saying he's going to be disruptive. So that's going to be a very, very tough market.
Moose, you or me? Who you want to go first?
I just want to say this. I'm really curious what the fiber net ads are going to be. Very curious.
Because it's their focus. So, like, you want to see how good their focus is. And
it's only going to ramp up this year.
Exactly.
Right?
How many did they add? How many households did they add?
Yeah. That's what I'm... That's my biggest thing.
How many new people did they reach? Does anybody know since last quarter? Like, how many new households did they reach?
Well, I think they want to do 2 million annual, don't they, Moose?
They want to. Well, eventually they want to do
5 million.
Several more million, right?
They're doing 500,000 per quarter. Then is that correct?
I think they were doing 200,000 to 300,000 per quarter.
300,000.
They were getting like $1 million per year, right? It was like the
and I think their goal is to. They want to hit stride. They want to be between 2 to 3 million a year.
Well, if they added 300,000 this quarter, okay, we'll use that number. If that's what they added, then I see them converting about 50 to 60% of those actual additions. So maybe like 150,000 to 200,000 net fiber internet ads, if that's what they added to their footprint.
Yeah. I got.
No, go ahead.
I'm with Moose on this. I think the fiber is crucial for them. They've invested a big effort into fiber expansion, so it's pretty much it has to be the shining star. Like we care obviously very much about the wireless. They care about it too, but like you could clearly see the primary focus is fiber. So to me, if they don't kill the fiber, then people are going to be asking the question, "What are you doing?" Because you have mortgaged your entire future on fiber, so they got to absolutely kill the fiber game.
I think they touched on it briefly, Sneed, at the analyst day, like very briefly, but I don't think they have told us the full story yet on what fiber is going to mean to wireless in the future. They said it, or that female, I forgot her name. She said every time we get in the house, in the living room with fiber, we get wireless every time.
Yeah.
She says it's such a high rate.
Sheesh. So they essentially, it's like a slam dunk. Yeah, they're just like we convert fiber, we convert wireless.
It's she says it's a done deal. She didn't give a percentage, but I'm sure.
You think it's better than 70-80%?
Oh yes, definitely.
Wow.
They send a rep to the house for the install
to seal the deal.
Get them on wireless to seal the deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the conversions for cable. Like that's your benchmark right there. Cable's converting what? Like
they convert. You're right.
Yeah, but like what's the percentage? Do we know a hard number?
I mean, they add 500,000 wireless subscribers every quarter. Like between Comcast and Charter.
Yeah.
There are 2 million SOGA per year.
So one of the interesting things, a good friend of mine, her neighborhood just got lit up with fiber in the last 5 days. This is like the beginnings of what Sneed experienced last year now. And most of those folks guaranteed are on T-Mobile. But because of that 25% off
conversion,
the price, exactly. Because of that 25% off when you bundle, T-Mobile's gone from exactly as I predicted. T-Mobile will be gone because the price is going to be better than Spectrum for their internet option, number one.
That's true, right.
Number two, and more importantly, you get the 25% off with HBO Max included.
Value.
It's done. It's done. After that, it's over. Done deal. So yeah, I mean, it's probably like Tyrone is saying, it's closer to 90-some plus % conversion.
I don't think it's that high. That's too high. It's probably more like 60%, 50 to 60%, which is high. That's already high.
So let me go ahead and do my predictions then. Moose, I got, my estimations. My predictions, I was looking at about 600,000 in the net ads. I had them at about a 0.79 churn. And I agree with Dennis. I think that's going to be industry best. Regardless of whatever the industry best average is, it's going to be AT&T's. That's become like the norm. Their retention is very good. Sticky. The services they have are sticky. The wireless rate with the fiber, the Uverse, that whole bundle, the HBO Max value play, customers are satisfied with what they're getting. So I agree. Dennis, I think they're going to have industry low churn. I'm going to say 0.79, whatever it turns out to be. I still think it's going to be industry best. Prepaid, they win in prepaid. They do pretty good. So counting Cricket, I think they're at about 120,000 ads, 120K, and that's like prepaid proper, along with their Cricket. I do think Cricket is the fastest growing prepaid carrier, by the way. Metro has kind of matured. It's hard for them to convert. Boost Mobile is purging customers. I think a lot of those Boost Mobile customers are going to Cricket. Some of them are going to Metro. A lot of them are going to Cricket. Or they're looking at some other MVNO like Straight Talk or Total Wireless or whatever else.
The question is, are they leaving because that delicious horse paste CDMA is sunsetting? Or are they like, hey, I'm roaming on this network already, might as well just be on their data?
No, Pete, it's probably more the data usage. Like they used to use more data when they were on Boost Mobile Sprint, and now they're stuck at 35, and then they're completely throttled to nothing.
I think that the throttling might be an issue, but I think it has even less to do with that. I think it just comes down to these two factors: price and the free phone deals. Because I don't know if you guys realize, and we don't talk about it much, but in prepaid, there's been a lot of free phone deals. Samsung like Galaxy A32s and A12s and stuff like that. I mean, I know they're not flagship phones, but free phones.
Yeah,
iPhone
that does
SE,
get customers to move and stuff
iPhone
like that.
SE was free for a little bit there.
Yeah.
And Cricket was the one that was running the most aggressive free phone deals.
Pete, we got Darian.
I'm going to jump in. I was about to jump in saying shout out to Darian Smith with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, sir, for your generosity. Says, with all these new customers from fiber, AT&T better launch mid-band ASAP. Hey, what would the perk of them launching mid-band be if they do fiber in the house and you're getting, 200-300 megs minimum in your walls, up to a gig on the Wi-Fi? Why would their customers be saying, hey, give me mid-band? They're going to be like, woo, this internet rocks.
All right, Moose, anything you want to add?
Well,
on the AT&T side?
All I'm going to say is we're going to be surprised on this quarterly earnings for all carriers. Whether the Mr. Red is fancy shoe time, too fancy that people can't afford it, or the stanky, he's stanking it up, man. That guy is dude. That guy's voice, I'm telling you, it's world record, bro. Straight up, man.
You got the rumble.
Exactly, dude.
Let's do Verizon next. You want to start off, Moose?
Well, hold on, but let me ask you this, because I know Sneed and Tyrone, you've mentioned something. Prices are going up across the board. I think Sneed, I think it's time to talk about this. Give us your intelligence on this.
Moose, can we do the Verizon and the T-Mobile predictions and then?
Of course. Go ahead.
All right, let me start with you here with the Verizon predictions. Go ahead and make your call.
Okay, so I'm anticipating that this is going to be the second year in a row that Verizon actually loses customers in the first quarter. That'll be back-to-back years that they lose customers. Net customers loss. I believe that they're going to be mentioning that the existing base, they've increased it a significant percentage, all unlimited and all on the quote unquote premium plans. But because a lot of people are penny pinching, I think this is the first of many quarters where the carriers are going to be seeing a significant churn. Potentially, Verizon will be at 0.9 or even 1% churn percentage. Yeah, because it's the perfect storm, right? Inflation is up close to 8% plus. Gas prices are insane. So people are going to have to decide, do I pay my phone bill or go to a cheaper carrier like T-Mobile, Cricket, AT&T, whatever the case may be, or continue paying for my Verizon bill? It's an insane price. But again, I should mention the marketing has been focused on how much value I give you for the amount of money you're paying. So yes, I do believe that a lot of people are going to remind themselves about that. But it's going to be an executive decision whether or not that value, quote unquote, is enough to keep me paying that high price.
So I wanna chime in next.
Let me chime in first. Shout out to Anwar Kadana with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for your generosity. Anwar says, you guys think there's even a little bit of hope that the AT&T fiber will ever reach Minnesota? There's so little competition and Comcast is so unreliable and expensive.
Thanks, Anwar. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and one option is try and get your city to roll it out if the state doesn't have restrictions against rolling out fiber.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Dennis.
So Moose, I respectfully disagree. I know times have been tough, but statistically speaking, people would rather pay for their cell phone bill than even pay for freaking gas for heating. Like, they're really concerned about it. And I actually see Verizon also having a growth quarter as a net growth. I think they'll probably get about 200,000 net adds roughly. And as far as churn goes, I don't know if their churn will be that much higher than AT&T's. I don't see a lot of movement happening. What I basically see them doing is essentially pinching and pulling away from some of their prepaid customers and converting them into postpaid ads.
All right, let's go ahead and get Tyrone in here.
Yeah, so I've seen about 4 estimates earlier this morning, and they all have Verizon taking a loss. Verizon, by history, their worst quarter is Q1. It's a fact. That's their absolute worst quarter out of them all. Most of the estimates show Verizon losing around 40 to 80,000 customers for the quarter. I think I'm gonna put that estimate in around there at a churn of about, like Moose was saying, 0.91%. And then, going into Q2, Q3, Q4, they just settle and, they start growing again. But, by history, their worst quarter has always been Q1, always.
We got a super chat, Pete. Another one. Maybe he stepped away. All right, so this one is from Anwar again. Thank you, Anwar, for everything. Don't think Minneapolis, my city, allows city-built fiber. Sad news, man. I'm sorry.
What city are you in? And thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I'll look up, see if the city has any statutes against.
I think it's Minneapolis. He said, right? Minnesota. Check it out for us, Pete. See if
I'll check it out. But after reading Santiago Hernandez's super chat for $10, thank you so much for your generosity, Santiago. Says running a bit late, but finally tuning in. Better late than never. And we've done AT&T and most of Verizon with the earnings predictions. If you're curious, catch us on the replay. Thank you so much, Santiago.
Yeah, thank you, Santiago, and thanks for the super chat and chiming in and commenting. All right, so man, okay, so Pete, you want to do the Verizon thing?
Can't say much that hasn't already been said. I too believe that they're going to have some net losses, simply because they're pivoting from like the consumer focus to the like the average consumer focus to the high spender enterprise, where they're trying to say, hey, you're paying more but you're getting more. But I'm going to say the net losses will be less than 80,000, so they almost balance out. And hey, it's good for the people on there because they're losing congestion and gaining spectrum.
I just want to ask a question, Pete, to you specifically. What do you think is going to push the losses? Do you think it's cost focused, like Moose had touched on, or what do you think would drive the losses specifically?
Mainly, so you would find two reasons. It's the cost with things going up, and you're also going to find people in our friend Tim's situation where they're like, yay, all this C-band is on air. Why the hell am I not getting any? And on that, Neater Gritter has a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for your generosity, sir. Has anybody actually tested the AT&T C-band yet? I believe some of us have.
Yeah, Mr. Moose, I know you have, and I think Tyrone, I think you've tested it as well, haven't you?
No, I haven't tested it yet, but I've seen plenty of tests around Reddit and other places too. So,
man, real quick, I am so sorry, Anwar. Yes, your state do have explicit restrictions against municipal broadband, so you better lobby your legislators to remove that crap.
So, Pete, real quick though, in response to your answer that you gave me, as far as cost, and I saw someone else mention this, but ACP, the ACP program, that helps address the cost issue and Verizon's a participant. And then
not really. The postpaid, you're still paying a good chunk after the ACP. The prepaid, though, there's this bucket plan that's free on it, but there are still other options.
But a lot of prepaid options don't participate in the ACP program, which is why I'm saying like the postpaid side that would help. But also, addressing the second. Oh, sorry.
The idea with that is, yes, it would help, but for some situations, it's like a Band-Aid covering over something that needs stitches.
Fair, but I'm just saying it's a $30 credit. Like, it would help bring things down pretty significantly monthly. And then as far as the C-band goes, the fact is that I feel like C-band would encourage more people to go to postpaid to get access on like the Get More, Play More plan if there's someone that's interested in C-band. Otherwise, they won't care if they don't have it because they just don't care. They'd be fine with the little start plan. But Sneed, I'm sorry. Go ahead and go.
Yeah, see, just briefly, Dennis, here's the thing. Verizon is going through a transition period, and this is the reason they bought TracFone. We last year that they're going fully premium, and you're seeing that now. So there's not a lot of fight anymore from customer service. It's not going to be a lot of retention. There's not going to be a lot of you want a lower price, you're going to go to TracFone. That's kind of how Verizon is viewing this now. That's why they're dropping the home internet price lower when you bundle with their wireless, because now they're looking to squeeze the customer, right? They're looking to grow the ARPA, They're looking to get the people into premium, and those who don't want premium, they're just going to send them off to TracFone. And that's honestly how they're doing it. They're being cutthroat about it. They're not telling us that in that sense, but that's what they're exactly showing us. That's why they bought TracFone. They're going to move that customer over to TracFone.
So that was kind of some things I wanted to chime in on. I wanted to look at Verizon from a holistic standpoint. I think, and this is just a prediction, I could be wrong. Tyrone is correct. Historically, Q1 is Verizon's worst for the year. So I'm going to go with the opposite of what some of you are saying. Some of you are saying 40 to 80,000 lost. I'm going to go 40 to 80,000 gained. So while not negative, not much growth, they typically do poorly in the first quarter. I just don't know if they're going to have losses per se. The other thing about Verizon that we have to consider is while they may not be adding customers much, the Comcast and Charters of the world, they do add customers. And they are on the Verizon Wireless Network as a service. So personally, while we don't call them Verizon postpaid customers or Verizon branded customers, they're technically Verizon customers, just at a slightly lower price point for Verizon. But to me, it's the equivalent of a prepaid customer, minus the fact that Verizon's cool with it because they don't have to serve that customer. See, that's the one interesting thing about Verizon I've been saying for a couple of years. They are perfectly fine letting you use their network and them not having to serve you for customer care, like activations, trouble with a device, whatever billing problem you might. They're like, yeah, you deal with a prepaid carrier or Xfinity or Spectrum.
Or low shred.
Yeah, or whatever else. Yeah, access it through US Mobile. Get it through Visible. We don't want to deal with it because time is money. I don't think any carrier is more sensitive to that than Verizon.
Well, yeah, because that's the most expensive part of operations is the customer service standpoint.
Yeah, so they're like, yo, go ahead. Use our network. Have it at a discount rate through whomever. We don't care as long as we don't have to waste our time with you. I know it sounds kind of cruel, but I really do think that's how they're playing it. Now, in terms of the churn rate, I think they're going to come in at like number 2. So I think AT&T is going to come in at like I was predicting they were going to come in at like 0.79, 0.81, something like that. I would put Verizon probably closer to 0.9, and then I would put T-Mobile like right behind them, like so close, like within 0.1 or 0.2, so or 0.01 or 0.02, so very, very close. In terms of prepaid, now they have TracFone. So I agree with Tyrone. I think they're going to be super aggressive through the TracFone brands. I think they've already put some added value to some of those plans through Straight Talk and all of that. And they just want that thing to run like clockwork. Keep as many customers. Don't let them churn out. Don't let them go to other carriers. Get them converted to newer phones. Get them new SIM cards. Try to make that process as painless as possible. And it's not going to be painless because you got people on 3G phones still. All right, so you got to address that. So it's going to be messy in some ways. All right, so that's the prepaid. We covered the postpaid. I really hope they report home internet customers. I would love to see how many ads they got with the home internet. Now, they really just turned on C-band like 2 months ago. So I don't know what the standard's going to be, but I want to know no later than next quarter. I want to start seeing the ads they get for that home internet.
It's probably like 300,000.
As I pointed out, there with the C-band, the C-band with the fixed wireless, it might not be as large as some of us would like to see, simply because there are some places where they've done a good job deploying, some places where they have not.
Pete, do you think the over-under is 100,000?
Yeah, but I'm going to say that the ads, when they start reporting them, will be amortized to be around 400,000 a quarter.
400,000. So when they catch traction, when the build is there, you got them adding 400,000 a quarter.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, I got them at 300,000, and I'm quote unquote the cable guy apparently. So
You're the cable guy. You should look like Jim Carrey more often.
Moose, let me bring you in here, man. The over-under I thought was going to be 100,000. These guys are shooting for the stars, man. Where are you at?
For which one, Chacha?
Verizon Home Internet.
Oh,
Not
man.
the Fios.
So, I mean, Tyrone was saying in some of his videos that, people are walking in. I know you were talking about this too, Sneed. People were walking in, asking begging
about
for
it.
for the home internet.
Mm-hmm.
I truly, truly, truly believe that they are, the heavy momentum is with them. Heavy momentum, especially since that Super Bowl commercial with cable, with Carrie, right? But also, we've been talking about this for literally podcasts in months now, every single podcast. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired with damn cable. So they just want any option.
Here's an example. If I ended up relocating to a place with Verizon C-band and fixed wireless internet, I'd probably go through Verizon and get their internet. Granted, I might get the line discount despite not having a line, but I'd still do it.
Yeah.
The line discount is really attractive.
Very.
Yes. So I see if someone I know could spot me up.
Sign you up, right? Tyrone, jump in, man. Talk to me. 100,000 I thought would be the over-under. These guys are coming in hot, man. 300, 400,000. Where are you at with this?
Yeah, I think what I saw in the estimates is 150 between there, 150,000 top. And I think that's a good number, especially Verizon just getting going with C-band and, them barely putting out their marketing for it in the first quarter, right? They just really went big on the Super Bowl. So we got to give them a little time to get into the market with the marketing. But I think 150,000 could be what they added.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to report. I don't know if they're going to give a churn rate for it. I don't know how many people are churning. It's very situational. It's kind of the same situation we see with T-Mobile, where the tower upgrades are there. They can afford more people on these sectors for home internet. Situations where it's kind of iffy with congestion, it's hard to do, and all these other speed restrictions and all that. So, it's kind of a situation that we have to watch.
Well, hold up. I mean, you got to remember something here. With their fixed wireless, there's more than just the 5G product. There's the LTE product as well. But also, more importantly, we know that they cover 100 million pop with their C-band. Saying 300,000 total for all fixed wireless ads, including the fact that their LTE coverage, to me, doesn't feel that crazy. I mean, they could be picking up a bunch of DSL customers for all I know that was their only option,
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, think about all those people in Kansas, bro. They'd probably be so happy to have Verizon fixed wireless right now.
So here's the way I think this is going to play out for the earnings for Verizon. It's going to look and sound terrible, and then Verizon's going to report, this is the best Q1 we've ever had in profitability.
Yeah, of course. Finance, great.
They're going to literally come out and say, we lost this, here's this number, but don't be startled. We're as profitable as we've ever been. Our revenues are record high.
Yeah.
Like I sense that. Yes, exactly.
It's all going to be up.
I think AT&T is going to be number 2 in ARPU this quarter. I think Verizon is going to be number 1. And last quarter it was the other way around. I think actually the last 2 quarters, most of last year AT&T had the highest ARPU. Verizon was only the highest ARPU, I think, 1 out of the 4 quarters. This quarter, I think it's going to be Verizon. Even though they're not going to show the growth, they're going to show the growth in the revenue. I think they're going to hit their revenue estimates of 4% increase. It'll come in at like 3.8, 3.9. It'll be very close if it's not 4.0. So, because they've got the additional revenue stream now, they're moving people to the premium plans. People want the ultra-wideband to get higher network access. The value play is there for the customer if they can utilize those content services. The Apple Music of the world, the Disney bundle with Hulu and such. If you use those things, the value is good. and now the network can match in places where they get the C-band going. You know, I think Verizon's going to paint a pretty picture from a profitability standpoint. They're just going to put their head down and they're going to build out C-band, and then in terms of like Fios, I don't think there's going to be much there. I think Fios is going to add like 80,000 subscribers. You know, they say they're going to expand big this year. We'll see. If they have a big quarter, like if they add like 150,000 Verizon Fios subs, then I'll believe that they're going to expand and build out coverage.
Sneed,
the network
you think
built
they're
for
going to add
fiber.
80,000 for Fios?
I would say 40 is the low end, 80 is the high end.
I'm going to stick close to that 40,000 because as far as I'm aware, to the best of my knowledge, they haven't really been adding that many new households per quarter for Fios.
I don't know. They said they were going to expand this year, so I got to give them something.
Yeah, it's a slow expansion, though. It'll be very slow.
I mean, like, I literally think they're only adding like 100,000 a year, if that. So they're adding like 25,000 per quarter.
But I remember the story that I covered, I'd say probably about 3 or 4 months ago. It might have been November-ish, maybe December-ish. I'm not sure. They said they wanted to expand the fiber footprint for Fios. They didn't say they were going to build extensively, but they said they wanted to cover an additional 800,000 addresses within the next 3 years. So if they were to add 80,000 a quarter, you know, 80 or 90,000 a quarter seems realistic.
I hope
we'll
you're
see.
right.
We'll see.
Right.
We'll see. And I know they want to expand the fiber capacity too. They want to go multi-gig and such. We'll see how that plays out. All right, last one, and we'll try to do this one quickly. Dennis, we'll start with you. T-Mobile, where are you at?
I think T-Mobile also has net adds.
Yes.
And I think T-Mobile ends up having roughly about maybe like 400,000 to 500,000 net adds. I think that their ARPU goes down.
I'm going to say their ARPU stays about the same.
It might either stays the same or goes down. And then as far as fixed wireless goes, I think they add another 200. Yeah, like another 200,000 to their fixed wireless.
All right, Pete, jump in.
I'd say 200,000, give or take 50,000 for fixed wireless. And net adds, I'd see in the range of 600K. But I'm still at the point of thinking all net adds are just whose line points. So, who knows? ARPU about the same or slightly higher. They're not really doing much to, they can't do much to increase what they're getting per customer at the moment due to the 5-year commitment not to raise prices that they did 2 years ago. Although, if they were correct about what they said in December 2019, where buying out Sprint, they'd be making so much extra per customer they could technically lower the rates. So hopefully their ARPU is still reasonable in that regard, even with the people wanting to sell chicken for 10% more than it's worth.
All right, let's get moving here.
Okay, so T-Mobile. Everybody knows they did an insane amount of promotions this last quarter. We're talking about free line promos, free this, free that. I'll give you 20% off, anything to get you in the door and sign you up.
What do you think that did to their
I'm thinking
ARPU?
800K net.
800K.
800K. I'm thinking 800K.
Man, More
Oh, yeah.
optimistic than we are.
I'm thinking 800K, because if AT&T is going to be hot, then T-Mobile with their goddamn thongs are going to be ridiculously spicy. Too spicy for the like we say in Spanish, the hilo dental, the floss that's between those cheeks. Goddamn, man, I'm telling you. So I'm telling you right now,
Oh,
800K, 800K. Sneed got that hilo dental.
Oh my
Got that
God.
one. Jesus Christ. Okay, it's gonna be 800K. I'm telling you.
Goodness. Anything on prepaid or the home internet option?
Okay, the home internet, they're gonna be hyping it up. I think they're gonna probably say they're at 1 million.
How much?
They're gonna say 2 years. No, wait, how many? Yeah, 2 years. They're gonna boast a lot of stuff, guys, on this call. I'm telling you right now. They're gonna say it's been 2 years since we did the Un-carrier merger. It's been 2 years. This is where we're at with our network build. This is where we're at with our
Un-carrier merger.
The Un-carrier merger. Blah blah blah. They're gonna say whatever they want to say for propaganda wise. But I'm telling you right now, they're gonna come in and say in 2 years we added 1 million people for home internet. It's gonna be some crazy number.
Yeah, they're probably going to hit it, actually. I agree.
Yeah,
but
I still strongly believe they're all whose line points.
Well, okay, so Moose, anything on churn or prepaid?
Oh, yeah. I think that they're probably going to be lower than Verizon, but they might not be lower churn than AT&T. I think that...
So you got them in between Verizon.
Yeah, they're going to be in between. Yeah. They're going to be, and specifically because of the Sprint merge, the Sprint migrations. They're nomads, man. These Sprint people are literally like trying to get out of Dodge from Vietnam, man. It's pretty bad.
Man, big shout out to Andrew. Welcome to the show, and thanks for coming by, sir. All right, Tyrone, jump in, man.
Yeah, so from what I've seen from the estimates, I'm going to take kind of a wait and see approach until the numbers are official. But the UBS report has T-Mobile doing 450,000 on fixed wireless alone for the quarter. And they are saying they are accurately predicting this because they're looking at how many times the T-Mobile Home Internet app has been downloaded. They're looking at those numbers to accurately predict their estimates versus what they posted last year. So that's what they're saying for home fixed wireless alone. And then I think that 800,000 number that Moose was saying is probably pretty accurate if you include the wireless ads as well. They will still have the highest churn in the industry. The UBS is also estimating that they'll be about a little over 1%, right? Because the Sprint is still weighing heavy on them. Now it's going to be lower for this quarter. They are fixing it, but overall, it's still going to be elevated above 1%. So they will have the worst churn in Q1 when they report. But prepaid wise, I don't see them doing any big numbers. They're not pushing Metro much in the marketing anymore. I don't see them on TV much. And nowadays, every prepaid carrier is doing free phones, so that's not really an advantage for Metro anymore. So I kind of think maybe 80, 90,000 prepaid from them at best. And I think that's about it. That's about it for their quarter.
Okay. So my prediction for postpaid, I got them adding 600 to 650 in terms of the net ads, total net ads. For home internet, I got them at 250,000 as the low. I think the high is 300,000, but I got them falling somewhere in there. If they hit 450,000 net ads, that would be incredible, and I would consider that a huge, massive win for them because their biggest quarter was last quarter, and they were at like 240,000.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna say I'll follow that up with maybe a 10 to 20% increase or something like that.
Yeah, the UBS said they just looked at the total number that they reported at Q4, which I think was 646,000. That's the total for the year. And then they looked at how many times the app was downloaded from that 646,000, and that's how they came up with their prediction. But that doesn't include churn, of course. But I doubt T-Mobile's
Yeah, but the churn couldn't be that high, right, Tyrone?
Yeah, it couldn't be, but I don't think they're going to report that anyway.
No. But I mean, they probably convert 95% of those people that try it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
Moose is
at
actually
worst, the
right.
churn's probably 5%.
And Moose is probably right. If they are managing those ads, they're going to hit 1 million overall customers.
Oh yeah,
At this,
I got
at
him.
this
I got
quarter.
him. I got him celebrating and throwing confetti. 1 million fixed wireless subscribers.
Oh yeah.
And I actually, the way I think Sievert's going to frame it is, we crushed 1 million subscribers. And we just launched it, right? Like, he's going to drive that home.
Yeah. And that's going to put the market in frenzy, and then all the analysts are going to be like, "Oh, cable's in trouble."
Yep. And then the sentiment around the industry changes. Like, fixed wireless can win, and then we're probably going to see a big quarter for fixed wireless from Verizon in Q2.
Yep. So there's something I want to touch on real quick, because this is important to say. It's really easy to go from 0% market share to like 5% market share, 10% market share, etc. Gets a lot harder to start getting ads once you start getting past that tipping point. Right now, fixed wireless falls in that camp. They're picking up they have the opportunity to pick up a lot of people that just don't have cable at all, which means there's no competition for them. And they're getting the opportunity to pick up in some areas where there is bad cable. They're going to have a harder time competing against cable providers that actually deploy stuff in, like, especially in city environments, in suburban environments.
See what?
Oh, sorry.
From what I'm hearing, Dennis, they're getting into markets now, like Tennessee and those markets where there's literally only one choice. Those are the markets that they're getting into now, from what I'm hearing.
So it's like a coin flip. It's either them or the other guy.
Basically, is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to basically, my point's like this, Steve, and I've talked about this before, and I think I even posted a picture of like what I got in the mailer, but like T-Mobile absolutely spams my community with their T-Mobile home internet product, but they do not have a chance in hell of actually getting a single customer here, because Comcast is over here literally offering $20 internet, and it's $10 with the mobile discount, and Fios is literally offering symmetrical 300 by 300 for $40. No way in hell they get a customer here. And I know we're not targeted. Well, we're supposed to not be the targeted demographic, but anyway, point being is that if they want to actually compete in areas where Comcast or any cable provider actually runs aggressive promos, I don't see them winning, because customers are going to focus on price first when they make a switch. And also, if it's an area where insert company is actually doing those types of promos, it's probably also an area where they have investments and all kinds of other advantageous things in their favor, where they can be aggressive and basically block them out.
I do have T-Mobile's like churn rate being pretty low. You know, like, there's not many Sprint customers that still need to leave if they want to. Most of them, that if they wanted to leave, they already have. So I think their churn rate's going to dip a little bit, which is good. I think we're going to see like I got like maybe 0.94. I got Verizon at like 0.93. I got AT&T at like 0.79, 0.81 or something, like really low. We'll see how that plays out. Those are my estimates. Prepaid, I got T-Mobile with about 110,000 customers added. ARPU wise, I got Verizon as the industry highest. About $1 down, I got AT&T, and then about $4 down, I got T-Mobile. So, but I think their profitability is increasing too. I think Magenta MAX is converting for them. So, yeah, and I think the T-Mobile stock price is going to spike by $2 at close, and then the following morning it's going to add another $2. I think it's going to go up $4 or $5 within the 24 to 48 hours of the announcement of this earnings report, and it's going to have nothing to do with regular mobility and everything to do with fixed wireless and profitability.
So real quick, Sneed, we touched on cable when you're talking about Verizon. We touched on it again. where do you see the cable companies going as far as their actual wireless product goes? So Xfinity Mobile, Spectrum Mobile, etc.
I got them adding like 400,000 subscribers. I think they're each going to do like 190, 200,000 of those, the big two, Charter and Spectrum. They're competitively priced. You know, price is number one, and you know, value is number two. You know, so like they're coming in with $30 lines, and that beats pretty much every postpaid option.
I see them adding 650,000.
So like 290, 300, 310.
Yeah, between like all the cable wireless providers, I see them adding 650,000. And the reason why is because this was one of the more aggressive time periods for them when it came to mobile phones. Like mobile phone discounts, with all of the Samsung phones just being like 400, 600, etc. off. They were double dipping on what they were giving off too, because they had the crazy Visa prepaid card offer when you added mobile, and they were doing the extra Visa prepaid card when you ported a number and all those other promo incentives. They were really aggressive basically with their mobile focus. Plus, they did the whole $35 discount off gig when you add mobile, which was a drastic change because it used to only be $10. They made it $35 off the internet when you added mobile. So I see them adding a lot.
Yeah, the pricing matters. That's going to get people on their service.
And then as far as where these ads are coming from the net carriers, I think we're gonna start seeing some MVNOs just start dying off. Basically, I see consolidation in the market happening across the board, and I think the majority of the losses comes from the MVNO space, and that's where most of the movement stems from, as well as like basically from Dish with Boost. I see them bleeding like. Honestly, I know this seems really pessimistic, but I see Boost bleeding like another 600,000 customers.
Bro, I got Boost going under 8 million subscribers officially at the end of this quarter.
So how many customers that have to be to lose? Is it 600,000?
To something.
Oh, well, I'm saying they lose 600,000.
They've never lost 600,000 in a quarter.
And I'm saying this will be the first of them. I think all the fiasco that happened with the 3G shutdown and everything else that was going on, combined with the changes in pricing and the data plans and everything else, I think that's going to be the big.
Yeah, but the changing in pricing has been going on for a year.
I know, but
so why? Like my question is, why are you picking this quarter to be the 600,000?
Because prepaid customers in general tend to be more sensitive in pricing, and someone touched on the whole inflationary thing. There's not much to keep you with Boost, and I don't think Boost does. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Boost participates in the ACP program.
I think they do.
They do.
They do? Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I was mistaken then.
So you think that might keep them from being a total loss?
Sneed, really quickly, because I know we're getting late in the evening here. We mentioned inflation is up. We mentioned prices are going up. You have some intelligence. Tyrone has intelligence. I think it's time.
Yeah.
What
price?
Prices going up?
Yeah, all indications. Carlos, we've talked about this behind the scenes. I think
I already know they are.
Yeah, we've talked about this. It's pricing across the board is probably going to be increasing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a 5 to 10% increase in your total bill is very possible. The reason I say 5 to 10% is because they're probably looking at it like, with all the prices going up, fuel, transportation, materials, you know, all these supply chain issues and inflationary things that are going on with the marketplace. If they go up 5 to 10%, I mean, that's standard in today's economics, I think. Could it be 15%? I think that's a little high. But think about it. If they go up, if your carrier, whether it's Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, if they go up 5 to 10%, whatever your bill is, that would be increasing your bill $5 to $10 out of every 100 your bill is. So, like, for example, let's say my bill is $300 a month. You're looking at potentially up to a $30 increase in cost on your monthly rate. So,
I have to say real quick, and this needs to be made as a clear point. If prices go up, it's not because of inflation. It's because the carriers milked this whole situation because their profitability is like insanely high. I'm also just going to go out on a limb, and I'm probably going to be wrong against everyone, or just be the only one saying this, but I truly don't see pricing going up. Like, I'll put it this way: I don't see prices going up on existing plans. I could see a more premium plan coming out that's more expensive, but I do
yeah,
not
but Dennis,
Like
it
a
doesn't have to change
Verizon
your.
one that gives 1080p to somebody.
No, I think what we have to keep in the frame of reference here, they're not going to change your bill per se. They're not changing your plan. They're not going to touch your account. They're literally going to put a surcharge on there that's just literally going to add a fee
Yeah.
to your bill.
Okay, I
So
can see tax and fees going up. Sure.
Yeah.
The
That's kind of
people-
where I'm at with this.
I could also see T-Mobile getting sued by the DOJ to do that.
Well,
No,
the people I've been
seriously,
talking
they
to-
have 3 years before they can.
So I've been talking to several people, and that's how they're going to implement it, because they do not want somebody with a grandfathered plan to have that as a leverage to bypass the upcharge. So they're going to add it as a surcharge fee.
Well, I don't see
That's
how
how they-
T-Mobile
that's
can
how they
do
work.
that though, because tax and fees are included.
T-Mobile's they've already been testing the waters with adding the taxes and fees on other stuff that is not associated with your base rate plan, which is like AKA insurance gets taxed now.
Yep.
As much as I wish Dennis was right about.
And I'm going to throw this wildest curveball. Don't be surprised if ultra capacity does start getting a surcharge where you're going to get charged for ultra capacity, because T-Mobile
Unless
has
you're on a
been
Magenta
using
Max
other-
plan. What do you think, Carlos? Unless you're on a Magenta Max plan. Oh,
I'm gonna just say this. You guys might be right. I'm not saying that you're not.
Anwar is
But-
agreeing with you, Dennis, with his $2 super chat. Thank you so much for yet another super chat, Anwar. You were truly generous. So, Dennis, he says you're spitting out facts. Inflation isn't the reason.
But listen, you guys may be right, but I'm just gonna say this: if it does go down like you're predicting it would, I promise you we'll see some of the highest churn quarters like ever seen since like 2010.
Yeah, but where are you going to churn? You're going to be churning to a carrier who's doing the same thing.
Well, hold up. I'm going to answer that second part of your equation. And the one that's going to be benefiting from the churn is the person that doesn't raise their prices first. So, i.e., if Verizon's the first one to make the move, I could easily see T-Mobile running an ad campaign saying, F Verizon, we got tax and fees included, come to us. And they just start freaking surging in customers.
I'm not leaving Verizon as my main over 5 to 10% price increase.
It's not that big of a deal.
You
If people
won't.
would exaggerate it, if people are freaking out over 7 to 8% increase to match inflation, that's ridiculous. At the end of the day, we're only talking about $10 potentially.
Yeah.
Moose,
I mean,
do you know what the average Verizon bill is? I'm just curious. Do you know what the average Verizon bill is, Moose?
It's about 400 plus on average.
$400, you said.
Mm-hmm.
That's higher than I was going to say, but okay. So $400. So 10% of 400 is $40, Moose.
I think
No,
Moose is
no,
factoring in
no.
devices.
It's you're factoring in devices. Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about just the base plan. 10% off the base plan.
So how much is the base plan that the average customer pays? Like $180, yeah?
Yeah, look at that on the websites. 160, 180, 220 for 6 lines or 5 lines, whatever.
All right, let's just say it's 180 because I'm pretty sure that's the average. I'm pretty sure. So 10% of 180 is going to be around. Let's just say they're going to be bumped up to about $200 just for their base plan. Yeah.
No, it's probably going to be, again, for tracking inflation. So anyways, Tyrone was trying to get in on something, and I think Carlos also was trying to mention something. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the intel that we have received, and again, this is just speculation because we have nothing official. It's the price goes up per the rate plan, $6 on single lines, and it's going to be $12 per account on multi lines. It's not per line; it's per the entire account. That's what we know right now. It's $6 and $12, and it's not finalized yet. They're still tweaking it, but customers will be given an option to leave if they do not agree to the increase. They can simply send their phones back. Go ahead.
Tyrone, would this be on top of the line access fee?
No, it's just a $12 increase to the account.
By the way, shout out to Stephen Smith, $5 super chat. Says nothing. He just gives out $5. Thank you so much for your generosity,
Thanks,
Stephen.
So essentially, you're going to see just a cost added at the bottom of the bill, and it's going to be the way Tyrone described it. It was what did you say? $6 on a single line,
and 12 on multi,
and 12 on a multi line.
12 on multi line. Yes, and that would be the equivalent to catch up to the inflation.
But that's the thing. Inflation isn't the I really want to emphasize one thing. The cost that the carriers pay to offer the wireless service, like per line, is literally probably about max like $7 to $8. That's
but
max.
Dennis, they're watching the entire marketplace increase pricing. They want in.
But listen. Let's just highball. I'll even highball. I'll say they're paying $10 to offer per line. Okay, so if you have a 4-line account, you're paying $40 to offer that service, and you're charging like $160. You're making $120 just for doing nothing. So, like an extra $8 for them is literally nothing. It's just keeping their profit margin at like 97% or whatever.
No, Dennis, every industry has increased pricing. They're looking at this like, why the hell shouldn't we? It's not about justifying it. We know it's not justified.
Sneed, the why shouldn't we is there's a good likelihood that if T-Mobile ups their rates, they'd be fined from the DOJ and FCC more than they up the rates by. And the other three companies might be looking at it going, well, T-Mobile can't up their rates due to an agreement with the DOJ. And I will try and get my AG to sue T-Mobile if they try it as breach of the agreement.
But that's the thing. You guys are looking at it as breach of the agreement, but they're gonna justify it as, we have to keep up with market. Market is going.
That's why I'm going to try and get my attorney general to go after T-Mobile and say, if you do this, you'll be paying us more than you're getting per customer to the state of Colorado in fines.
Okay,
also,
what if that $4? Go ahead.
I just want to say, like, as far as why not do it, another reason not to do it is because you're going. Like, so there's the example of T-Mobile with the potential of the lawsuit. Like, that's already a known fact. But then there's also the fact that you spent all this money trying to acquire customers just last quarter, that you would end up taking a risk to lose customers or try to make an extra $7, especially too when companies like AT&T literally just introduced the lowest postpaid plan pricing I've seen to date for single line users with that $50 plan. It might not be exceptional, but that's the cheapest postpaid plan to date that's ever hit the market for unlimited. I see pricing and competition keeping pricing down. Go ahead, Carlos.
I forgot what I was going to say. It's all good.
Well, I'm just saying, if we look at things like over like big picture mode, pricing across the board has gone down for data. Like that's a fact. Pricing for data has gone down with time. And this is across all industries, including telecom, like traditional telecom. Like Comcast Comcast pricing is still the same. Verizon Fios's pricing already happened and raised years ago, and it's still the same. AT&T Fiber.
So,
go ahead.
They're giving that away.
I got intel. I call him my uncle because when I was living in New Jersey, he was like the Don Corleone of the Italian family. But I asked my guy that works at Comcast corporate, and I straight up asked him, "Are you guys going to increase rates this year because of the inflation?" And I was shocked to how he presented it. He's like, "You think that the company is going to allow us to lose money based off of supply chain increases? You must be out of your mind," he said. The company is never
cost. They're not taking those
the company is never going to eat the cost of
They're
inflation.
They're going to pass it on.
Period.
Exactly. They're going to pass it on. Yeah.
And he said, I was betting that this thing would have happened as soon as the Russia thing happened because inflation was already getting at 6%, he said, in February. Now we're approaching 8+%. You think that it's going to be a very interesting quarter, he says.
Yeah, but if Comcast raises rates, which they do yearly, it's always on the TV service side. It's never been on the internet side. The internet pricing has been pretty much the same. Actually, it's been cheaper.
You know what? You're right, Dennis. You know how I know you're right. The people that want TV through the cable box, they fight against streaming. So if they wanted to leave the cable box, they would have left years ago. They're not going anywhere, and they're taking advantage of that.
But they're not gonna. Exactly. They're not gonna price up the internet. Literally, like it's a fact. You can look at Statistica. Internet pricing today is the cheapest it's ever been per megabit per
Dennis,
second.
I think this will like calm the flame. Look at the inflation rate for the last 10 years, and it was going down until this year.
Yeah, but you keep telling me to look at the inflation rate, but you're ignoring the fact that, like, especially with fixed wireline internet, it's literally like 98% profit. Like for them, an inflation rate of 7% off of like 0.000001 per penny to offer a gigabyte is literally nothing. Like, even if you were correct, the pricing would be impacting new customers, not existing. Like it.
No, I'm serious. That's the word. You're absolutely incorrect. The fact of the matter is that this has now been corroborated. We got Carlos knowing about it. We got Sneed with his intel. We got Tyrone with his intel. This is shocking, but guess what? I'm not shocked because my fuel is more expensive. My gas is more expensive. My grocery bill is more expensive. My straight up electricity is more expensive. Nothing's changed with my electricity habits, but it's gone up.
But my electricity hasn't changed.
But gas hasn't gone up because of inflation. Gas went up because private companies wanted to milk the situation.
Yeah, but Dennis, the carriers are milking the situation too. It's not. This is literally the carrier saying, "How are we going to keep pricing the same when everything else is going up?" They're not going to stand by and let other companies increase pricing without them just getting extra squeezes out of customers.
Sneed, if you think about it this way, Comcast jacks up the price, T-Mobile and Verizon keeps the fixed wireless internet the same. They just get 1 million more customers. By the way, 2 super chat came in. One from Santiago Hernandez. Says, on a positive note, the MVNOs are bringing good competition with pricing. Indeed, hopefully they say the same. And thank you so much for your generosity with that $5, Santiago.
Thank you.
Brad chimes in with $2. Says, Xfinity Internet and Xfinity Mobile a good choice. Depends. How much premium data do you use?
I mean, it's decent. I mean, it's internet. The internet's good. The mobile's decent. It's Verizon's network, so if Verizon's good in your area, you'll have a good time just as long as you don't go over the 20 gigs.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, how much premium data do you use?
I mean, well, if you live in an ultra-wideband area, then you can ignore the 20 gigs because ultra-wideband doesn't count against it, but I don't know where you live. But anyway, look, if Comcast or traditional ISPs want to add more, like have a higher tier, they'll come out with a different speed tier, raise the price on that, like how AT&T did with the 2 gig and the 5 gig service, or how Frontier did with their 2 gig service. I don't see them raising the barrier to entry, especially not Comcast, because Comcast literally has the Internet Essentials program they participate in, which is $10, and then also they have a perfectly priced 600 megabit promotion going on that's perfectly priced to match the ACP program's benefit, so that way they can basically get free tax dollars. Like, for what reason would they want to raise that when they can literally just milk taxpayer dollars and get free money?
Yeah, I'll just say this: the iPhone later in the year that AT&T customers get, new and existing, is going to cost AT&T a lot more money to get on board and give away for free. A lot more.
Oh yeah, which is why we'll start seeing 48-month payoffs.
Yep.
Can you imagine a 48-month financing plan for a free phone?
That's crazy.
Well, hold on. We're already seeing 8-year financing from cars because they went up $10,000 across the board.
Yeah,
man, I was so happy I paid off my 5 and 3.
And
So,
you're a sucker
I'm not-
if you do that.
Yeah. I'm not going to be surprised, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if they go at 48-month, 60-month, because think about it like this, guys. This might be the first time we ever see a iPhone increase in price. And I shall remind everybody, because I know the Cha-Cha and I, we've been talking about this for a while, eSIM future.
Yep.
So it's going to be an increase in price, an eSIM future. Come on. Like the writing's on the wall, and it's so obvious now. It's like insane. Like if you don't believe it.
In price, and what's the second thing you're saying?
eSIM future.
Oh, no. Well, first off, increase in price on iPhones, that happens all the time. But as far as eSIM future, bro, we're like 6 years out from an eSIM future. We're like 6 years out. I mean, even in the U.S. alone, we already have problems with eSIM activation, let alone internationally. I mean, people do travel. Like, there's a need for a physical SIM. But there's some comments that are talking about YouTube TV. When I was mentioning cable increases, I just want to point out that YouTube TV is cable. It's live television. So if live TV goes up for cable companies, YouTube TV always goes up just at the same time.
Yeah, it does, but they add more channels.
That's not true. YouTube TV, when it first came out, was like $45. Then it went to, I want to say, 55, then 65.
They add channels every time.
But honestly, actually, Dennis, the last time they had a dispute, I think it was with Disney. They were willing to. They were willing to lose the channel.
Guess how much the price was going to go down, Tyrone?
45, I think.
Yeah, it was going to go down by $25.
So they're sticking to their guns on this one, man.
I was literally thrilled. I was like, I don't care. I get the Disney bundle, so I don't care if I lose ESPN and Disney and all that other stuff.
Calling it right now. I bet you YouTube TV goes up to $75. Calling it right now.
What do you think is going to make the cost go up?
Broadcast TV fee and regional sports fees. So the carriage agreements to carry those local channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, the carriage agreements. I think YouTube's only making money off the ads that play on
Dude,
that.
YouTube TV literally loses money.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Google, the only revenue source they have through that service are the ads that play between the commercials.
So it's actually illegal. You're not allowed to lose money on TV. You can sell it at cost. You can't lose money.
No, they're selling it at cost, but they're using money from the commercials to subsidize the cost.
What a horrible business model.
And more importantly, more importantly,
is to get people on other Google services.
But more importantly, Sneed, the reason why I said it loses money is because YouTube TV has unlimited cloud DVR. They're paying a butt ton of money to keep all that footage.
Yeah, but they
actually, most of it's not they're not doing like per person DVR. They're keeping
It's basically on demand.
yeah, it's on demand. They have a catalog going back a year or so of of shows that broadcast, and every time you access it through DVR, you're basically pulling off a on-demand, non-listed on-demand show.
Yeah, I know
All
how
right.
it works, but it's expensive to maintain.
Oh yeah,
Here's my thing though, Dennis. What's the long-term play with YouTube TV? Because there's nothing really leading you from that platform to another platform. It's not like they give you a $20 discount to join something else on Google. And
Hold
it's
up,
not a
I
lucrative
didn't say
business.
there was a long term. Hold up, I didn't say there was a long term play for YouTube TV. I just said they're selling it at a loss.
No, I'm saying what is the long-term play for YouTube TV? It's not a lucrative business. I mean, T-Mobile got out of it for a reason.
Yeah, they sell YouTube TV at a discount.
yeah.
Well, if you want to know the long term play, Kazi kind of pointed it out, but I think it's just to offer it for things like Google Fiber, but do it in a way that isn't as expensive,
Or
and then,
send customers to some other service.
and I also just think that Google likes having you tied in as much as possible in their ecosystem, and they realize that there is some merit to having you have television through them.
Yep.
Hey, Pete, I think we're going to go ahead and do the hashtags. We're going to close out the show. Before I do that, we want to say thank you to everybody who threw some super chats our way.
We got Sneed, we got the Blind Tech Adventures, we got Jason D, we got Anwar Kadana, Darian Smith, and Stephen A. Smith, and Brad.
You guys are awesome.
Stephen
Thank you
A.
for those super chats. All right. Mods, let me get the following channels. I need Pete the Bearded Dragon. I need his channel link in the live chat. I need Carlos S. Tech, and I need Tyrone from Tech Life. I need their links to their channels in the live, if you could, please.
By the way, sometime this week, I'm going to be releasing more office hour content.
There you go. We'll be there to check it out. We need Dennis's. We need Carlos. We need Tyrone, and we need Pete. If you guys can pick those up there, the mods. Thank you for that in advance. Let's do hashtag 2LiveCrew for those watching this live. Do that now. Hashtag replay crew for those you watching this on DVR. Hashtag ravioli gang if you were snacking or eating dinner while you were listening in. Hashtag save the bear. Hashtag help the bear. Hashtag yogi bear. Pete, was it hashtag boo boo bear was the last one?
Hashtag Boo Boo Bear. Let's get
Yep.
some picnic baskets.
Hashtag BBW for Carlos. Hashtag Cha Cha for the Moose Man. Appreciate you, dog. And I think that's pretty much it. Hashtag Mod Squad. I think that's all of them.
Hey, Sneed, you ever get a picnic basket with some steaks in it?
Oh man, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Them are some damn good steaks.
Yeah, again, thank you guys for watching and supporting us, and please do like and share this video and subscribe for more if it's your first time here. Turn on the bell notifications and select all so you never miss an upload whenever we do the podcast or we upload videos. And my Patreon page link is in the description box if you guys want to support us there. I'm pretty active. I upload all types of content, give you early access, some exclusive stuff. I do some data testing, and I post stuff. It's a nice little community too. Community within the community. And that's it. We got this piece. Anything else for the good of the order, gents?
No, thank you as always for having me on, Steen, and looking forward to another episode on, I assume, Friday.
Yeah, we'll be here Friday to run the show again.
All right.
I have one more thing, and this is based on a text message conversation. In some parts of the world, sugar beets is better than corn to grow.
That's correct. And they can both be used for ethanol.
Yep. So think about that before you become a corn tycoon.
And now you know stuff. All right, guys. We out this piece. Peace.